Louisiana Beer Reviews Westbrook 2 Claw India Pale Ale. 7% alcohol. No IBUs listed. Man, look, this thing just showed up at Martin Wine Cellar with no fanfare or anything. That's what happens in Louisiana. Things just show up, then they just disappear as fast as they showed up. You know the old saying, 2 claws are more than one. Well, they are more than one. The big brother of 1 Claw is heavily dry hopped for an intense blast of juicy and tropical hop flavors. Now, here's a good thing. They're giving you the malts on the back. But they're being cheeky about it, and I don't go for that. 2-row rye, wheat, and oats. Hops. Yes, so that's their answer. Yes. So oats, pale, rye, and wheat. So it's a multi-grain ale. They use AZACCA hops. About 3 months old. Introduced in 2016, it gets a 93 outstanding on Beer Advocate, a 95 out of 100 on Rate Beer, a 95 out of 100 in the style, and a 79 on Untapped. Well, that's high for Untapped, honestly. So let's check it out. Does it come in bottles? I don't know. On draft, you would assume so. I don't know anything about this company. I mean, their website doesn't say a lot about the history or anything, so that I could tell. Maybe I wasn't looking at it correctly, but I couldn't really. It did say it was hazy, and it's hazy. Woo, woo. Pretty thick ivory head on this mostly sunny day, and it is milky orange. It's definitely an East Coast IPA, especially since it's from South Carolina, which is on the East Coast. Atlantic Coast IPA. All right. Well, it smells like a typical hazy East Coast IPA, to tell you the truth. And I'm not saying that's bad. I know I don't love the style, but it doesn't. It's just like, okay, another East Coast hazy IPA. You get some, like, I don't know if they're using lupulin powder. You get that impression, get the breadiness, the multi-grain thing. It's hard to describe it's like can't communicate this. It's like I know the aroma on these things, but I can't communicate it. Here, smell that through the internet. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be silly, but it's not a fruitiness. It's sort of like a quasi-fruit hop oil. Lupulin powder thing. I don't know. I can't do it right. Let's go with the taste. Definitely get rye spice. Would I be talking about that if I hadn't read the ingredients lineup? Maybe. Get fruit, like I say, orange. Right, just oranges. White bread crust. 7 IBUs. Disoriented this morning. 7% alcohol. IBUs, I would suspect probably about 50. It's a heavy-bodied beer. Full mouth. It's chewy. You're eating it as much as you're drinking it, which may or may not be a good thing depending on who's drinking it. Some people like it and some people are appalled by it. It's a mostly dry finish, but barely mostly dry. You know what I'm saying? Like 53% dry and 47% sweet. So it's just tipped over into dry. Is it a good beer? Well, I think it's a good product. Price wasn't bad. I think it was about $1.69 for a single, something like that. Now, does it stand out, or does it have anything remarkable on its side to distinguish it from other East Coast IPAs? Yes, I think the rye character is what makes it. It's like rye whiskey. You just know you're drinking it. And some people can't stand rye. They say, oh, no, I can't stand that. That peppery, spicy, twangy thing. They just can't stomach it. And other people love it. So maybe rye is a sort of a bit of a divisive ingredient. I can understand that. But I'm on the ryeophile side instead of the ryeophobic side. So if you accuse me of being a ryeophile, I'll accept that. Now, I've gotten this one in the One Claw. Would I try other Westbrook beers? Oh, sure, I'd try them all. I'll try anybody's products, I guess. Score. Well, 95 on rate beer. I don't know, it seems a little high. Oh, the bitterness is kicking in now. Rate beer is a strange sight. Some beers that I think are pretty nice, they'll give a 5 out of 100, which I don't think you could drink a 5 out of 100 beer. Then other ones that I think are good and even into excellent, but they'll just go whiz bang, super high score with it. But I guess that's based on who's writing the reviews there. Beer Advocate is saying 93. I think I'm more in line with Beer Advocate. Now 79 on Untappd. We got to remember, Untappd is a much different scale. So you're getting into the 80s on Untappd. You basically at the top of their ladder. Yes, I think I'll go with a 93. 9.3 out of 10. A most excellent product. Just getting into A. Now you might be saying, well, that's only 2 points lower than 95 on a 100-point scale. It's not a big difference. You're right, it isn't. It isn't a difference, but it is a difference. Nonetheless, so Laissez-les Bon Temps Relais, a most excellent and a bit unusual, and I'm glad about that because it started off having sameness, but it did, as I sipped and thought on it, drink on it while you think on it. Get it backwards. Think on it while you drink on it, and then you might perceive some things about a particular beer brand that you may not have done if you hadn't been thinking on it. So it's a good method of discovery. And I'm going to say, Laissez-les Bon Temps Relais, y'all go to South Carolina and visit the Westbrook Brewery.